Today's guest has been an actor for 20 years now, and when he's not in front of the camera, he's behind the camera in IATSE. He's a graduate from Humber College, a winner of a Thea Award, very prestigious Thea Award. That's, for those of you who don't know, Ontario Theatre, and nominated for a Phil Hartman Award as well. Please welcome today's guest, Paul. I didn't ask you how I said your last name.
You can say Chiusolo.
Chiusolo?
Yeah.
Is that actually right, though?
The Italian way is Chiusolo, but I have never said it. I have never said that my entire life, so I feel like hilarious. A phony.
Because I was going to say Chiusolo, and then I was like, is it tricky? Is it It looks easy.
They wanted me to say that, well, in Italian, C-H-I-U, make a Q sound.
Oh, yeah.
So they wanted me to say that like 10, 15, Chiusolo. They wanted me to say that years ago, and I'm like, I feel like such a phony saying it that way. And I'm like, I'm just going back to saying Chiusolo, because that's the nice.
That's like how you got to do it with a Chiusolo.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like an idiot. I'm like, oh no, my name is Paul Chiusolo. Just like add that, like, who is that? That's not me.
That's hilarious.
Whatever. And then someone once said, oh, I like Chiusolo. It sounds like a name from Star Wars. And I'm like,
yeah, like Han Solo.
Okay, so like
cousin.
Chewie and Solo, yeah, their cousin, their off-brand cousin.
Yeah, it'll be a whole TV series.
His figure sold at the dollar store.
Yeah, exactly. Here he is.
Han Chiusolo.
Like a hairy man.
Yeah, he's like painted yellow and orange, and you're like, it's $1.
That's amazing. All right, so how did you get started into acting? Was it something you were always gearing towards and doing?
No, originally I was going to be a cop.
Oh, yeah?
And then I wised up.
That's hilarious.
That's nothing against police. I respect what they do, and they have a very, very difficult job.
Yeah.
I like to think of them as like when you play Monopoly with your family, there's always the one person who has to enforce all the rules.
Yes.
That's like that job. Like all your friends are cops. Everybody hates you even though you're just doing your job.
Right.
Yeah, so I went to Fleming and graduated from the Police Foundations program.
Right.
And then everybody in my family's like, this isn't you. You shouldn't be doing this. And, and at the end of the program, I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
So they noticed that you didn't like it?
They didn't want me to do it.
Oh.
But I was like, you know, you left high school and everyone's like, you have to pick a job. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So I was seeing maybe like the heroic aspect of being a cop.
Right.
And not what it actually is. And yeah, so after that, I was like, okay, what do I do now? And my sister said, hey, in Uxbridge, they're doing Brighton Beach Memoirs, and you should audition for the Sun. So I was like, okay. So I just went on a whim and read, and they loved me and gave me the lead role. So I went from never acting to being the lead and the narrator in this huge production.
A star was born.
A star was born. And then the Christophs, the husband and wife team that did the play, they said you should try out for this program in Toronto, Humber College Comedy Writing Performance.
Nice.
So I auditioned for that, and
Did you find the audition process hard for that?
No, because I thought I needed like a lot of training and stuff like that. And it seems like everybody who got into the program, I think over that 1 year there was like over 4,000 applicants, and they only picked like 35 people for the program. I got in, and then I found out everybody was already kind of funny. Okay. Everybody was like, nobody really had training. There was like some people who did a little bit of stand-up, and I had done one play. Right. And everybody was just kind of like funny in their own way. Okay. And I got into that. It was like the best year. It was like kindergarten for adults. The classes were like stand-up, Le Jeu, which is clown. Like Wednesdays we had yoga for like an hour and a half, and I'm a night owl, as it seems like everybody else in the program was. People in our business were kind of night owls. Yeah. So the first classes didn't even start till like 10 in the morning. Because they were like, no, we understand you guys go out to the comedy clubs and you go out and perform and stuff.
That's true.
They didn't have early classes, which was, I was like,
that's so smart.
Yeah, that was really smart.
They really thought that through.
They did.
For once.
For once. So after I graduated from that, I've been doing it ever since.
Nice.
I did more theater for probably another like 10 years, and then I got into film and TV, and I've been doing that.
Wicked. So did you get an agent when you started to switch over to film and TV? No?
I tried for so long. Anyway, I tried for a decade to get an agent in this city. I sent out every 3-4 months. I went out and printed very expensive resumes, updated with the headshots. I delivered them to agencies. I do packs of 40, nothing. And it wasn't until I started doing like Mandy and A Action and signing up for stuff on my own. That's how I built a resume, basically.
Okay, nice.
And it wasn't until in my 30s I got new headshots, and someone recommended Denise Grant.
Yes.
Now, I've heard mixed things. Some people are like, oh, I didn't like the headshot she gave me. But anyway, long story short.
We love Denise.
I went with Denise. I loved her. She was so great. And during the shoot, she's like, oh, no, we'll get you an agent.
Aww.
And then she posted my photos to her Instagram. And then a couple days later, I had like the top 4 agencies in the city
No way.
asking me to join. So I had like 4.
What a nice change of pace.
Oh my God, I know. And everyone's like, that never happens. And I was like, I got very, very lucky.
You're like,
so
well, you put in the time.
I put in the time, over a decade of
you had the 10
slogging
years
away.
of initiation.
Yes,
there.
of beat down. And yeah, and everything's changed since I got
wicked.
with the Bella agency. So I
Nice.
really like Bella. She's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And I've just been getting a lot of consistent film and TV, and every year, slowly, I just,
baby
little baby steps. I'm still not in the union.
Yeah.
Which
Me neither. That's okay.
I do want to get in the union, but lately it's kind of the time not to.
Fair.
Because I'm
yeah.
still getting lots of work.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
apparently you go into the union now, especially with the strike.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna say strike, not a great
There
time.
hasn't been a lot of work, but I probably last year it's just been getting better every year and year.
Nice.
And I'm very grateful.
That's amazing.
But you still need a day job.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're not doing
we know
this.
we're not doing this.
Yeah, we're not doing creative full time is the goal.
Yes.
We still have day jobs.
Yes,
we still have day jobs.
multiple. You need a lot of irons in the fire. You need a lot of side hustles. I have so many I
Right.
can't even count.
Do you find it are you good at finding side hustles that are that you enjoy, or do you find it draining going
Both?
Yeah, okay.
The key, okay, I did find the key one. So we've done the standard server, host, working, I've done trades jobs, I've worked as an assistant, like carpentry, auto mechanic, I've done car body work. I just worked for 3 months at a mechanic shop before Christmas doing tires.
Nice.
But, pays the bills.
Yeah.
But I got in 3 years ago maybe with IATSE.
Right.
The film, the other side of the camera, and I started doing prop and set deck, and that is amazing because that is a job that gives you a livable wage. It pays incredibly well.
Yeah.
You can still do acting stuff, and if you get a gig or a callback or whatever, literally with IATSE, you can go on the website and just be like, I'm unavailable tomorrow. You don't have to call someone to cover your shift. You don't have to stress out and call your boss and stuff like that. You just have to be like, no, I can't come in.
Yeah,
I gotta.
there's tons of other people.
There's
that they
tons
can
of other
pull
people that
from.
want that work.
Yeah.
And this was the only time I only needed one job.
Yeah.
And then doing the acting.
Right.
And it was just like IATSE full time, you go hard for 3 months,
That's
and you make a
amazing.
huge chunk of money, and then you can take time off and do acting work or do a play or something like that, and
That's
you can
wicked.
still live in Toronto.
That's amazing.
And feed yourself.
And feed yourself. Yeah. And be happy.
Yes.
Above surviving is
Yes.
really the key.
Making it to your auditions. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool. And so I mean, it is kind of like the Han Solo thing, being a carpenter. And then,
Yes,
you know.
it is literally. Trades. Don't underestimate the trades because we are desperate for tradespeople right now, and IATSE has both of those things going for it.
Nice.
They don't care about your skills. They just want to know if you can listen and show up on time.
Right.
So a lot of the training things that you go through before you get into IATSE are literally just about showing up on time
And listening.
listening, being there for the full day. And they have a thing where they lock the door, like at 7 o'clock, they lock the door and you don't get your money back if you're late.
Oh.
And the whole thing is secretly a test to see if when you get work, you can show up at a location, on set, on time, early preferably, and just listen, do your job. Don't show off any skills you have. Just
Right.
do your job and listen to what they have to say. And
Take direction.
they feed you and they pay you handsomely.
Right.
And it's a very positive experience.
Wicked.
So I've been fortunate enough. I was working on The Boys.
Right.
Seasons
yes.
2, 3, and 4.
Amazing.
I don't know if 4's out yet, but there's so much up here I want to tell people and I can't.
Yeah.
It's so good though. It's so awesome. I'm just like,
awesome.
even long days you come home and you're just like, I'm full of vigor, and you're like,
Yes.
how was, I'm like, set was amazing today. I hung out with Homelander and
Right.
Giancarlo Esposito, and they're just like regular people and they're so nice. And
Amazing.
Carl Urban, I gushed with Carl Urban about how much I love Judge Dredd, and
Nice.
he is so classy.
Yeah.
Man, he's handsome.
Man,
He is a handsome man.
Do you get starstruck?
I did at first. Well, I did Rabbit Hole last summer, and like meeting Kiefer Sutherland for the first
Okay,
time.
yeah.
He is super cool and
Nice.
so nice. And yeah, we were on break. It was nice and sunny, and they have the snacks that they just keep bringing out to the crew. So
Yeah.
at one point they brought out fudgesicles.
Oh, nice.
And we're like standing there with our fudgesicles, and Kiefer Sutherland comes out, and he's like, he like lowers his glasses, and he's like, "Is that a fudgesicle?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Man, I haven't had a fudgesicle since '82." It's just
like, would you like one now?
they're so cool. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, I did get a little starstruck. Like when I met Homelander for the first time, and we're on set, and he's he can just turn it on like that. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah?
not method at all. He's just like super
like a
cool and
switch.
friendly and giving suggestions on set, and then they're like, "Okay, ready," and then he just turns into Homelander.
Nice.
And I was
That's so
like
cool.
hiding behind a desk in his bedroom scene, and I'm standing there off camera, and he comes around and faces me to like practice his lines.
Right.
And I just am like, oh, he's looking directly at me. I'm like, and I just started like crouching behind the desk, like Austin Powers in the elevator sketch.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He's like, get up. He's like, don't be ridiculous.
That's so
And then we
nice.
just talked for a few minutes, and then they're like, okay, we're ready. And I'm like,
Oh,
and he just boom, turned into Homelander, turned around, did the scene. Yeah, he's such a pro.
That's wicked. It's so nice to have a job that's still on set.
Yes,
'Cause
that's
it's like still feeds the.
that's what you can
creative
gain.
side.
I'm really pushing IATSE as an actor
Yeah.
because I love movies and TV, and it's great to be on that other side of the camera, and you really appreciate now when you go to the movies and the credits run for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and you're like, all the people it took to make
Yeah.
something, and everybody behind the scenes that don't get credit, all the props people and costumes people,
Right.
and everybody that gets everything ready.
Right.
They just focus on the actors, and I always found that weird though as an actor, how many actors I meet that don't watch movies and TV. I'm just like, oh, did you see that? Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. And then they go, I don't really like movies and TV. I'm like, you're an actor and you don't like movies? I'm like, I like watch them and study them and watch them again. And
I like watching something and then being like, "Ooh, the art department went ham on this." Like
Yeah.
The Last of Us. I was like,
yes,
"Ooh,
yeah,
art
like
department went
holy
hard."
geez, the art direction and the set dressers and
Yeah.
the costumes. And as a big gamer myself, I love the attention to detail that transfers over into the show. You're like,
Yes.
hey, that's just like the game, and I love
Yeah.
it when they actually pay attention, and then they go, why did everyone like it? We did it just like the game. And I'm like, or the book.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they do. I don't understand. We made a movie and it's nothing like the book, and everyone didn't like it. It's like, it's just like I don't. The answer's right there.
Right.
Stop doing it.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So how do you get to be a part of IATSE? Like, do you just like sign up and try, or?
Literally, I didn't have to do anything. I just went online, looked at a department that I needed the least amount of requirements for.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need this toolkit. I need to take this class and this class, and the classes were like $150 each.
Okay, nice.
So for props and set deck, I only needed 2 certificates. So you go down the calendar. Oh, there's the next one. It's 2 weeks from now on a Tuesday, 7 a.m. till 4. Pay your $150. You get in, show up early. Don't be late or they won't let you in. Show up, sit through the class. It's basically like a lecture on everything. You don't know how to do anything.
Right.
Once I did those, you then create an account online. You put in that information, and then you just have to make yourself available. You go on every day, click, make yourself available, and then just wait for the phone to ring.
Nice.
And then they call you one day and they're like, hey, can you be at this location tomorrow morning? Yes, I can. Yes, say yes.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself available and then say, oh, I can, I got a thing.
Right.
They'll blackball you right away. They'll put you in like not phone you for months.
Because it's just like, well, then why did I call?
And then so you get that first call, you go to wherever you're needed, you do a good job, and then they'll be like, okay, who wants to work for the rest of the week? Okay, yeah, and say in the beginning, who can work Saturday? Oh, I want to work Saturday, sure, yeah, whatever, screw those plans, like work it.
Right.
And then suddenly you've got a job for 3 months.
Amazing.
And then the show ends, and then, you know, the people say, hey, Paul, you did a great job. We got another show starting in a week. So you take like a nice week or 2 off.
Yeah.
And then you're back at it.
Wicked.
But they're so great, like a week or 2 into it, and it's a really busy show, and I'm like, hey, to my boss, you know, I got a shoot on Friday and Saturday. It's a 2-day shoot. And they're like, that's fine.
Amazing.
So fine, just go on the website and make yourself unavailable.
Wicked.
That's it.
That's so nice.
And as an actor,
sold.
you're not like, call the other server and
yeah,
and the pay.
Yeah.
I won't even get into that, but it's very well. It's very good. Now I should add this. I haven't had work lately because of the strike.
Oh, fair.
And there is an oversaturation of prop and set deck people. So I've got tomorrow, I've got a Working at Heights course I'm taking.
Okay.
Because you're allowed 3 departments. So I'm adding special effects into mine.
Nice.
Because they're desperately understaffed for special effects people.
Oh, really?
So I probably haven't been getting a call because all the union people are doing props and set decks. So I did my Working at Heights and an elevated platform that I've got tomorrow. And then I'm going to take a pyrotechnics course in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And then I'll be able to add my second category in special effects.
Oh,
and then
wicked.
I'll be back on set of something.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So for actors, IATSE.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
and
so
it's
cool.
all done in our own city. Like
Yeah.
The Boys is shot a few blocks from my house, and
Nice.
there's so much filming done in Toronto, and there's more studios
really
being
is.
built all the time. There's more productions moving from the States to here. They're calling Toronto like the second Hollywood.
Yeah,
Because
Hollywood North.
it's apparently like half the price.
So for acting, we were talking earlier about auditions and showing up on time.
Oh God.
So yeah, tell us about your on time.
I'll go with an example I literally had yesterday. So again, I've been very fortunate since I got Bella. Like last summer, I was getting tons of auditions, like 7 a week.
Nice.
And it's still a fail rate of like 99.9%. Even though I get tons of work, you still, imagine every time you went into work, you had to sit down and interview for your own job.
Right.
That's what it's like being an actor. So out of mechanics and cleaning up garbage and working in a kitchen and every other 100 jobs I've had, this is the hardest job I've ever had because you literally have to apply for a job every time you go out. So yesterday, for example, I had an audition and I've been doing this long enough. They say, show up 10 minutes before. No, that's not enough time. I give myself 20 minutes to a half an hour minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
Minimum.
I even like being an hour early and just sitting in my car for a while.
Yes, because you have to know where you're going. Sometimes they change the lines. They add different pages that you aren't expecting.
Right.
They want you reading for a different part that you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
All these different things. So yesterday I get to the place and I'm a half hour early. And they still don't have my application online because when you get an audition, they're like, fill out this PDF.
Right.
In the old days, it used to be a piece of paper when you come in. Now it's a stupid PDF. So they didn't have my PDF. And I'm like, okay, my time's coming up in like 15 minutes and I haven't heard anything yet. So I go up and he says, oh, you got to scan this QR code. So I scan the QR code. I fill out the PDF. Still doesn't work. It's now 5 minutes before my group is supposed to go in. So I go up and I'm like, do you have my information? And she's like, no, I don't see you. And she's going through all the papers and she still doesn't have my information.
Stressful.
Turns out when I walked in, the guy at the desk gave me the wrong QR code.
Oh, no.
It was because you go into an audition, they're usually shooting 2 things at once.
Right.
So they gave me all the information for the wrong one. So now I had to fill that out again and my phone crashed. So she's like, here, just do this piece of paper the old school way and I'll take a photo. I turned around, it took 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and then I gave it to her and I'm just like, I hate these PDFs. Can we just go back to,
The paper.
I love trees, but for Christ's sake, like, can I just fill out
Or just
this
like
damn
a system that
sheet?
works. You
Yes,
know?
a system that works. So I did that, and this was a case of they didn't know what they wanted. I won't go into the details because there's like NDAs and stuff like that. So
Right.
anyway, long story short, this commercial had like 5 different parts, and they were like sister, mother, the character's name, and stuff like that, but they didn't know what they wanted. So not only did they have one script, they then produced a second script,
Okay.
but they didn't know what they wanted us to read for, so they wanted us to learn everything, all the parts, all at once. So just walking to the audition, I had to just listen. I recorded myself and just learned it like it was a comic bit. I just learned both scenes. So then when you're in there, they can say, Paul, would you like to read as Bill? Okay, now we're gonna do it again. Can you try the friend role? So you have to be ready for this stuff, because that's like make or break.
Right.
Sometimes they say, you know, can you do it faster, more intense, or like more upbeat? And you're trying to do that, but you don't know the lines. So it's coming off like you're trying to cheat, and sometimes they have it up on the board, and you're trying to look at your lines, and that's slowing the scene down. So always be prepared, on time, way ahead of time. Because obviously you also don't want to rush in and you're sweating. You're rushing across town because you've got another job, because we all do.
Because we all do.
And you're 5 minutes to go and you're sweating, and now they're ready to call you in and you're like, I look like crap. And so just always give yourself more than enough time. There's parking, there's everything that can go wrong.
Oh my God, parking alone.
How many times I've had to get parking and I couldn't buy a ticket because the machine wasn't working. So now I'm running into the audition and I am stressing in the back of my head
about getting
I'm going to get a parking ticket. And that's not what you want to be thinking about while you're trying to memorize lines for a scene that you're not ready for. But we're actors, we're starving artists, and we literally need all these hustles.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you
voiceover gigs, I've started doing more.
Yeah, do you like voiceover?
Voiceover is so much better because it's like, I don't know, recording it, you don't have to do yourself up. You can you don't have to worry about what you look like.
Yes.
You just need a good mic, invest in a good mic, some soundproof paneling if you can, find a closet, find a corner of your house that's quiet, basement, anywhere you can, even if you have a tiny one-bedroom apartment, the closet. Yeah, the closet. And if you can't afford soundproof paneling, egg cartons. Yeah. Save your $10 egg cartons, because you might as well get something out of them. Put the egg cartons up on the wall. They work just like soundproof paneling. I saw a video too that did testing on different materials and how like they absorb sound. Towels. Towels? Yeah. Hanging up towels to block the doorway. Yeah. But voiceovers definitely, because they usually pay the same or twice as much as shooting a commercial. Right. And it's far less effort. It's usually only a couple hours. It's literally a couple sentences. Like I did a commercial years ago for Ancestry DNA. Okay, yeah. And I shot the commercial, and then shockingly, this never happens. Right after I did the commercial, they called me and they were like, hey, would you like to do we want your voice to match the voiceover, so would you like to do the voiceover? I'm like, hell yeah. I got paid more for 2 sentences in the voiceover than I did for an entire 10-hour shoot day on location. Like driving 2 hours, costumes, 7 in the morning, makeup, the whole shebang, 10 hours, drive home. I got paid like half as much as I did as going into a studio a couple weeks later and just recording like 2 lines. That's insane. Yeah, and my girlfriend, she does a lot of VO work, and the pay discrepancy is ridiculous. No way. Between what I do and like, I just did a Disney Plus thing. I don't know if it's aired yet. It was about how Walt Disney built America. Okay. And I actually went out for the part of Walt Disney. Oh, nice. I had the short hair and the little stash. Way. Oh, it was so close. It went into the 3rd round of callbacks. Oh yeah? And it was down to me and one other guy, and he ended up getting the part. So that sucked. So I went back to the mechanic shop, and they were all calling me Walt. And I was like, no, I didn't get it. Don't call me Walt. I hate him now. I suck. I hate him now. And then 3 days before the shoot, they called me and they were like, hey, we really loved everything you did. Would you like to play this other character on the show? And so episode 2 is all about my character. Okay, and how his influence on Walt Disney and the company. So you never know. So you never know. Don't give up. Okay, another note, never burn your bridges. Never, ever burn your bridges. It doesn't matter how pissed off you are, how mad you are, just keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Don't say anything. Don't say anything as a comment. Everybody in the film industry talks. Yeah. When you're on set, everybody behind the camera talks. Right. I noticed this at IATSE. People say things about directors. People say things about actors. Right. Keep out of it. Yeah. Don't say anything. Yeah. Keep your mouth shut, because you never know who's listening. Right. And you never know even a free job, a job you do for your own time for free just because you want material, you never know what that's going to lead to.
Right.
So no matter if it's the smallest part, it's a student film, always put your best foot forward, always be courteous, kind, on time, amenable.
Yeah.
They don't give you a trailer. No one ever gives you a damn trailer. Get the hell out of here.
I'm still waiting for a
I'm
trailer.
still changing across the street in the Arby's bathroom for like a Disney Plus show. So don't expect anything. Just be a professional, be kind and courteous, because you never know what little part, like the Disney show. I only got that audition because I did a show a couple years ago, Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum.
Yep.
I was in the 2-part season finale.
Okay.
As the lead. That was like one of the biggest things I did.
Nice.
And the sound guy from that show was the director of this Disney Plus show.
No
And he
way.
remembered me.
That's
And he was like, you were
nuts.
great to work with, you were funny. They brought me in for Walt. I wasn't exactly right, but then they're like, no, let's give him something else. We just want him on the show.
Wicked.
So you never know.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Don't burn your bridges.
So after not getting the Walt part, was that how'd you get through that
Okay,
disappointment?
I've just given that whole spiel about don't burn your bridges and watch what you say. This is true. So in the 3rd round of the Walt Disney callbacks, I had to tell the boss at the mechanic shop, I'm like, okay, I've got a 3rd round of callbacks. I'm so sorry. I know you need me every day. I got to go home from 10 o'clock to like 11 or 10 to noon or something like that, because I needed to get ready, get the camera set up. It's a Zoom audition.
Right.
They don't always show up on time.
Right.
The stupid phone, I don't know what it is with some of these Zoom auditions. You turn the phone sideways and it won't
your camera won't turn.
or the audio won't work, and there's
Right.
so many things that can happen. Luckily, that stuff worked. I get into the audition, they're like, hey, Paul, so did you get a chance to look at the new sides? And I'm like,
Oh no.
in my head, I'm like, what fucking new sides? What sides? And so I'm like, no. So I don't know if that was my agent's fault or if anybody didn't send. I'm not blaming anyone, but I don't know what happened. I didn't get the whole new sides, whole new scene.
Right.
And I mastered the other scenes. So they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll give you the sides, go away for an hour or two, you can learn them, and we'll have you back. And I'm like, I'm already stressing about trying to get back to work because I
Right.
need this money to make rent.
Right.
So I'm like, I can't do that, and they're like, I'm like, okay, I'll work it out. They close their screen. I explode. I'm like, I can't fucking. Luckily, I didn't say anything. I didn't blame anyone. I said, I can't believe this. I'm screaming at my girlfriend, and I'm like, I worked so hard. I memorized all this stuff. I took the day off, and this is what happens. I don't get my chance in the 3rd callback, and I'm going to lose this part. I start screaming. The phone comes back on. They're like, hey, Paul, we're still here, and we can hear you. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm just stressed out. And they're like, we know, we heard everything. We're like, calm down, it's fine.
Aww.
The screen came off, the casting director, the director came on. He's like, hey, Paul. And he's like, we love everything you're doing, calm down, it's fine, these happen.
Yeah.
They talked me off the ledge.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah, but
of
God
them.
knows what I would have said.
Yeah.
Luckily I didn't fly
fucking-
flip the camera, F this director, F the show. Yeah, I would never say that.
You just want to fuck me.
Everything's against me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so luckily none of that happened, but you never know.
That's
that
so
call ended, I thought I was off. It was just the image was off. They heard everything.
Oh
so
my gosh.
always be aware.
Oh, good.
But
That is
again,
a good lesson to learn,
anything
though.
can happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So even make sure you have a phone that works. Make sure, don't send auditions in where you're sitting at a laptop and you're looking down at the camera.
Right.
Get yourself a proper setup. Get a ring light.
Yeah.
Get Amazon. They're $20. These little stand-up USB lights.
Yes.
I've got 2 of those and the ring light.
Nice.
Use all that. Be ready for the audition. Be
Right.
ready. Even if it's a small part, I'm a sniper in this little thing. I do my research. Snipers, what's it like? Stuff they go through, all this stuff.
Right.
Make sure you give them everything you need to get that part. The worst piece of advice I ever got, I was in my early 20s and I paid for a class, and they said, don't dress for the part.
Uh-oh.
That was the worst advice I ever got, because then a year later, I got a big audition, and the guy I went to school with was one of the people producing the show.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, he knows me. I got this. This is going to be a piece of cake.
Right.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was wearing like a Deadpool t-shirt with like a bloody rabbit on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I had all the lines ready and everything. I'm in this big room, and the whole table is full of people. And they go, this is one thing before we start. They're like, do you think that's an appropriate shirt to wear for this audition? And I went, my shirt? And I didn't even think of it. I was like, I'm going to say no. And they're like, no. And then they explained to me why. And obviously I didn't get the part. And I was like, yeah, that was stupid. And then I started doing the opposite.
But nice that they told you.
I'm so glad they told me.
They could have said nothing and just let you.
I'm so glad they told me. But that was terrible advice. And my whole game in getting auditions, even just callbacks, dress to the part.
Yes.
Make it as easy as possible for them to see you in that role. So again, this goes back to doing your research. Oh, what is a sniper like? Okay, I don't have a sniper outfit, but I've got this cool black like military vest. Okay, I'll wear this shirt and the vest, and you know, my hair is nice and short and stuff. Like,
dress to suggest.
Make it, because not that they're dumb, but these people cannot imagine. They have so many people to look at. They need you to get as close to that part as possible, looking as that part. Doesn't matter before you even open your mouth. They see you and they go, oh, he looks like he could be the part. So make it as easy as possible for them.
Right, true.
Sorry, I just said like a million things.
No, that's okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. We like the useful tips, and we like the, no, that's so funny.
I'm just trying to create more competition for myself.
That's hilarious.
Shooting myself in the foot.
That's so funny. But I like that they actually told you though, because a lot of places would just be like, well, he's not going to get it.
Wait till I leave the room. Well, he sucked.
Yeah, well, that guy's
For the serious father role, why was he wearing a graphic black t-shirt of a rabbit with blood on it?
Yeah, or they didn't come back on the camera screen and go, hey, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Just let you run your fucking mouth.
Yes.
Oh my God. You know what? And I'm the kind of person, I might have let you. I'm like, no, wait, one more minute.
Let's see. Let's see how far he goes.
Okay, now
I want to see if he throws anything. What's the over-under?
Okay, never mind. It's getting boring.
Okay, and he bets he yells at the girlfriend. I wasn't yelling at her. I was more like complaining to the gods of acting.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I was like, this is so unfair. I work so hard and I take, people don't realize, like, they expect you to just show up and do a callback and a Zoom whenever. And it's like, no, we're taking time off work. Like, hey, this callback cost me $120.
Yeah, I did one in the back of my car once. Like, I set up my little background and everything.
Yeah.
And then I hit on the call, it went on this camera, not this camera. So you just saw like my dashboard and shit. I was just like, I had it so nicely set up, and then it went the wrong camera, and I was like, of fucking course you would, of fucking course.
Yeah, I did that on Rabbit Hole. We were shooting out the Hearn, and I'm like, assistant props and set deck, and I had a moment, they're shooting this long scene, and I asked my supervisor, I'm like, I'm gonna sneak away and do that Zoom callback, and he's like, that's okay. So I had to like go outside and found an old Bobcat, like a excavator, and I like balanced my phone on the excavator and like found a nice brick wall out at the Hearn. Luckily it was a nice day. Stripped down almost nude, put on the full outfit I brought to work that day. Shot the audition. They're like, thanks, call back, and then turned back into my IATSE clothes, hooked the mic back up, and then ended up back on set.
The things we do for the love of acting.
You guys have no idea. And on sets of even The Boys and stuff, like in between sets. I'm like they're like shooting a scene. I'm on the other side of the wall where it's all wood and stuff, and I'm like, hi, I'm Paul Chiusolo, and I'm with the Ballet Agency, and they're like, shh, who's talking? I was like, hold on. I'm just waiting for the cut of the very expensive show that they're shooting right now.
Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, ignore that. That's just Kiefer Sutherland saying who's talking.
They're waiting for me, actually. I'm very high in demand here. Actually, I might be booked. You might want to tell me if I book this now.
Double booked, triple booked. Yeah.
That's amazing.
The things we do for this craft, you have to love it.
I know, nuts.
The attitude of, I'm doing this for money. You won't get anything.
No, you have to love it. You have to love it. There's no way There's no way. There's no way.
Not giving a shit too. Some of the best transition into getting more work is when I stopped caring.
Yeah.
I care about doing the research and learning the lines and everything like that, but
stop caring about the
coming
outcome.
into the audition or the callback with that anxiety of I really need this.
Yes,
I need rent money.
That
they can see that. You could smell it in the air. The desperation of needing the role. And going in, grounded, real, and just like whatever.
Yeah.
I did the best I could. I always leave and I give myself a little
this is what I got.
Pat on the back. I did the best I can.
Yeah. That's all you can really do. Really, at the end of the day, everything else is so out of your control.
It's so that bullshit. Colin Farrell was a bartender and someone walked in and is like, you're going to be a movie. That doesn't happen.
That happens to like 0.0000001%
of people, and you have to be pretty. So
it's not looking good for
it. All Tat is not looking good. See, that's why I go for funny roles. They always make me ugly as possible. I always slick my hair down. That's and hilarious. That office role, I look like, a little creepy office guy. I land a lot of those roles.
Yeah? How do you feel about that?
I don't feel good when I'm like, hey, I got the part. Wait, they were looking for ugly, creepy, weirdo guy.
I think about it all the time when in movies they're like,
great?
Yeah, when they're like, oh, she's the fat one, or they make like a fat comment or like an ugly comment. I'm like, so did that actor go in knowing that they were going to get the role of the ugly person or like the ugly friend or the fat friend or something?
Pedophile number one. He's perfect. Let's see Paul again. Right. I'm just like,
I know. It's not me, I promise. It's not who I truly
scene
am.
opens, you're circling a kid's playground. Okay? We need your hair slicked down though. Really slick it down.
You're like, I love acting.
I love acting. It's great. It fills me with such pride, joy.
I've never felt better about myself.
My home has no mirrors.
Anymore.
I just get home and turn the mirrors over.
Yeah. So you were working on your own projects as well, right? Tell me about what projects you do to feed your own creative juices.
Acting stuff?
Yeah.
I have a buddy who won a lot of writing awards, and I kind of make use of his. He's got scripts, and I can act. So I kind of we do a lot of little like side movies, and again, like you shooting your own independent stuff. It produces material. Yes. Even if you can get one scene out of it's low budget or it's independent or whatever. Again, that attitude. Give it your all, even for just one scene, and then you have material. You have something, on the side. Again, make friends with directors. Make friends with. Again, now we're going back into IATSE. It helps to know all those people on the other side of the camera.
Absolutely.
You never know who is going to be in a position of power at any time. And I like that guy. Like I get hired just because people like me. They haven't even seen me. I've shown up to jobs that I thought were an audition and it was the shoot.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, we're shooting? I'm like, I thought I was an auditioning. And they're like, oh, no, you have the part. Like, no one told you? And I'm like, no. And they're just like, we worked on that other thing together and we knew you were funny, so we thought you could walk in and spill these papers funny.
Nice.
I'm like, okay.
I guess so.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's awesome. That's fun.
Yeah. So
that's nice.
In terms of my own stuff, we're too busy with jobs to like.
That's fair.
More voiceover work is good. I try to now and again shoot my agent stuff like, hey, I can do lots of voices and characters and stuff like that. Nice. So don't forget about me. I can do that.
Nice. How long have you been doing voiceover?
As long as I've been doing this, but I haven't been getting as much voiceover work. Okay. Again, though, like my girlfriend, she gets a ton of it, I guess because there's more push into voiceover stuff. And I was thinking about even getting a separate agent, a voiceover agent.
Right.
I missed theater, but theater just doesn't pay.
Yeah.
I love theater, and I did community theater for years, and I'm not crapping on community theater, but donating 3-4 months of your time to a play.
You have to love it. See, I'm at the point, if I love the script, I'll do it.
Yeah,
but
still I'll do it again when that piece comes by. But unfortunately, for me, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Toronto's expensive. You need multiple hustles. Like voiceover, I've got my own little side jobs. I've got IATSE. the mechanic shop I was doing, and then the acting work. I'm probably at a point now where like last year was probably my best year. I made maybe 50% of my wages for the year from acting, which is amazing.
Amazing.
It's still not enough to live on though.
Yeah.
So you still need a full-time job.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. And again, I said before the camera started rolling, I love all your the stuff you've been posting.
Well, thank you so
your stand-up and your Jennifer Coolidge impressions.
Thank you.
And you're very funny. And
thank you so much.
Someone high up will recognize that sooner enough. And
excellent. Well, thank you
it'll
so
happen,
much.
so.
Aw, it's so sweet.
And hopefully me too someday.
Yeah, right back at you.
I just never give up. And it's getting better the older we get, because so many people, 30s, I'm now 42. As we get older, everybody's dropping out. So the competition is less and less and less. So I'm getting a lot more stuff in my 30s and 40s now than I ever did in my 20s when I was young and all fit looking and blah, blah, blah. And like, no, they want a bit of age on the face.
That's good. So just persevere.
Persevere. Don't give up. If you really love it, don't give up, and it'll happen.
Alrighty, I like to finish up with the fast 5 questions.
Fast 5 questions. I'm not even prepared.
They're never fast.
Okay, I tend to have motor mouth, and I could go on for days, so I'll try to keep them as concise as possible.
No problem. Favorite beverage?
Oh my God. Coca-Cola.
Nice. A classic man. 3 things you must bring on set, or you like to bring on set.
As an actor or as IATSE? Oh, as an actor.
Let's go actor. And then I'll ask you about IATSE.
A comfy pair of pants. Your own hairspray. Earbuds.
Yeah. Okay. And as an IATSE member?
Well, obviously your kit.
Yes.
Extra socks, long johns, because you never know where you're going to end up, and it might be cold.
It's going to be cold.
I feel like they're all cold related things.
No, but that's important.
Extra shoes or boots, because you never know when you're going to get a soaker and you're going to be sitting there all day. I might even add a 4th now. I've noticed people are bringing their own fold-up little stools and chairs.
Oh.
You never know where you're going to be or how long you're going to be standing, and having somewhere to rest your butt.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep it like a folding chair in my trunk.
When we were working on Rabbit Hole, and I got to meet Charles Dance from Game of Thrones.
Oh, amazing.
Tywin Lannister. And we were out in the forest shooting a scene, and we're standing there, and he was going to sit down on this log, and I was like, oh, no, I'll get you your chair. Like, they're high-back chairs with their name on it. He's like, no. He's like, this log will do just fine. So he, like, sat on the log next to me, and he's like, and then he started singing Monty Python's I'm a Lumberjack.
No way.
I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay. And he didn't say anything else, and then I had to. I'm like, I sleep all night, and I work all day.
Yeah.
And then me and him and some of the crew all started singing the Lumberjack song.
That's amazing.
And then had a laugh.
Wow.
It was great. It was such a great
moment.
It was
Monty
magical
Python
moment. He threw it out there, and I'm a bit of an old soul, so like most people like nowadays don't even know who Monty Python is. They think it's a person.
Sad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
So sad. I love Monty Python.
Anybody who wants to write or be funny, watch Monty Python. They were so ahead of their time. They all went to Oxford.
Yeah.
And then they disappointed all their parents by not being doctors and lawyers. They became a sketch troupe.
Yeah.
Monty Python is part of your knowledge.
Holy Grail was like my childhood.
Me too. Yeah. I walked in and my brother had it on, and it was the night scene, the Black Knight.
Yeah.
And I was a little kid, and I was sold. I was like,
hilarious.
This is great, because like it's funny, but it was shot real, real props and it was dark and dirty, but then they were saying ridiculous things. And I was like, man, this is brilliant.
My brother had a shirt of that guy with like his arms and legs cut off.
Oh, but a scratch. Your arm's up. No, it isn't.
Just a flesh wound. Hilarious. Okay, next question. What's your pet peeve? Do you have a pet peeve?
I'm pretty go-lucky happy all the time. A pet peeve, I'm trying to think. Gossip.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially shit that's gonna get you in trouble.
I don't care if someone has a bad attitude or someone says something or says the wrong thing. Keep your mouth shut. It doesn't matter.
That's why I haven't asked you if you've met any assholes on set.
No, I would never. Even if I have, I wouldn't say, because
I know, right? You can't.
It's not cool either.
Yeah, no.
No, people have been on set. People have been irritated. I don't know. I also don't know what they've been through. Someone could be like, "Oh, did you hear who was such an asshole on set?" And la 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 la, and everybody's gossiping. And I'm like, you don't know what that person's been through. Yeah. You don't know if someone gave them the wrong props or the wrong call time or a different line.
Right.
And as an actor, there's so much stress when there's 200 people in the room and all the cameras are on you and you're expected to do this job. And then someone's talking during a scene and you have to cut. And like that person snaps, but then someone has video of that guy snapping and then it goes on the internet and it's like, oh, look at this jerk being like this.
I tend not to believe it until I experience it myself from that person. You know what I mean?
And nowadays with filters and God knows AI, it used to be believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. Yeah. And now it's like, don't believe nothing. Don't believe anything. Just don't believe anything. Have no belief system.
Believe in yourself.
Yes. And your own ability. I know what I said and did, and that's like as best as you can do.
What would be a dream role for you? Like, what would be an amazing experience? Like, you can just go genre. It doesn't have to be like, I want to be this exact person, but like, what would be a cool
I used to think like, oh, a Marvel movie, like a superhero, or because I have boxes and boxes of comic books, and I used to read them a ton as a kid, and back when it was uncool, and you had to like hide it behind like, you know, some like trashy pornography. There's like, I'm secretly reading like a Spider-Man because it's so embarrassing. Honestly, as a film geek, I would love to be in just one scene of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh yeah?
It wouldn't even have to be a big part. One scene, delivering dialogue, just a great scene in a Quentin Tarantino movie, because despite what anybody says about him, like as a person, he is a brilliant filmmaker, and I would love to be in a scene of one of his movies. Would be a dream.
Wicked.
But he's only apparently doing one more movie, so
I heard that. I know.
Please don't stop at 10. If he stops, who else is there? Like the days of remember when an actor was in a movie like Stallone, you didn't care what the movie was. It was like Daylight, what's that about? Okay, we're going to see the new Schwarzenegger, the new Stallone or whatever, or the new Tarantino movie. Once he's gone, what's left? Who's left?
We got to fill the gaps with some
artists.
Some people.
We need new creative directors.
We need new legends, please.
We need new legends. Stop giving these terrible, terrible writers, allowing them to fail up. And it's like, what'd they write? Oh, this piece of crap. Let's give them this project. Oh, it was crap. Let's give them this.
Or just stop trying to like
fire them all.
Over milk the
saturate the product. You know what I mean? It's once you've had your success, like bow out gracefully. Do something new. Please write something new.
Need some original
Stop
content.
Rehashing everything. Because if you can't, you'll never do it as good as the original. Never. It's never happened. Disney is on a track of let's just make a live action movie of every one of our animated movies. Best case scenario, it's as good as the original. It never is. It never is. It never lives up to it. So why do it at all?
I've only watched a couple of them actually. So
me too.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
so there you go.
I just noped right out of there.
I think I've only watched a couple because I'm too afraid. I don't want it to be ruined.
I don't want to tarnish, man, the 80s and 90s. We didn't realize it. We lived through the best era of movies.
Yeah, they were great.
They were great.
They were excellent. Anyway, my last question for you would be a piece of advice to young actors just starting out or to your younger self.
Other than, oh my God, I don't know what I would say to my younger self. I think I probably pretty much covered everything to new actors. Don't give up, always be prepared, have all those costumes ready, make sure your lighting is good. Don't sit down and do it at a laptop with a laptop camera. Just things that should be self-explanatory. I didn't know any of this.
But nobody explains it
Nobody explains it to you. You have to take courses. And again, even courses you pay for, I've now learned as an adult, those people a lot of the time cannot know what they're talking about. Because you get bad advice. Sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes. Don't give up, put your best foot forward, pat yourself on the back after an audition. You did your best. As long as you showed up on time and did your best, that's all you can do.
Nice.
And the rest is in the fate.
Wicked. Well, thank you so much. I love this immensely.
Me too. I had fun. This is my first podcast.
Excellent. Yeah? Oh, welcome.
I enjoyed it much.
Excellent. right, thank you so much for listening or watching. If you like this episode, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below telling me about your favorite takeaway of this episode. And if you want to support this episode so we can keep on going and make it better and better as we go on, head to my website, AllisonMullings.com. There's a spot where you can donate to keep this being awesome. Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.